Try using the stencil cutter to cut. I'm taking this lid that they use on soft drinks, using the blade with a in the normal position with a flat piece of material from a lid to cut a disc. I'll try using the blade in the reverse position to see if I can cut a disc. Yes, I can feel that there's a burr on the cut from blade on the normal side, and where it acts like a normal lathe tool, there's no burr because the material was sheared off. Yes, when I mounted the material to the lid, I taped it on with normal tape from the front side. Yes, I have the lathe set up with a cutoff disc, and I can cut off the tip of the number 3 stencil blade. I've clamped the cut off stencil blade, number 3 blade, to the aluminum 3/8 inch bar. I have a pin vise holding a 2.5 millimeter brass tubing and a drill bit that fits inside it. I'm going to place that into position. I've taken a needle nose plier that I've drilled a 1/16 of an inch hole in the side of it to give me some support. And what I'm trying to do is drill a reference hole for drilling and tapping. I've set up to drill the hole so I can tap it. Okay, now I'm going to mount a threaded insert that I drilled out to accept the tap body. Okay. Yeah, I thought I ought to chamfer the opening. I used one of those tap wrenches I made with a little milling tool. to try to remove, let's put a slight angle to the front. Apply a little bit tapping fluid. Okay. We can insert the tap into the standoff. All we have to do is turn it. The spring presses the tap into the hole. I test mounted the cutoff blade on the bar to make sure everything lines up. I have a piece of acrylic that I drilled a 1/16 of an inch hole in, and I can lie that over where I want to put a hole. And on the side, I'm up 1/8 and 1/8 from the end, and on the top, I'm going to be 1/4 up and 1/4 from the end. And so I used a little 1/16 inch drill bit just to get a starter hole, so I know where to drill for the tap. Yes, I clamped on a little piece of L angle and clamped against the blade. Now I need to mark where I need a through hole. So to act as a bushing, I take a 2mm diameter tubing, and then I can insert a drill bit into it. And mark the inside place to drill for a through hole for the screw. So I mounted the L, and just like I did with the other hole, I want to put in 2mm brass tube and drill a referenced hole on that one. Yes, I set a square to be the distance of this first horizontal part of the blade, and I'll use it to scribe a section of 10 mil brass. Yeah, I cut off a piece of brass with some shears. Yeah, I'm holding the brass strip in position with two pieces of tape, clear tape. First up here and across here for the first piece, and the second one on here and over here for the second piece. That'll hold it positioned so I can drill it from the other side. Yes, I've turned it upside down, mounted over a piece of wood, and I've inserted a 2 millimeter diameter brass tube to act as a bushing, and I'm using a drill bit that fits into that hole. And drill through. I've drilled a small hole through the brass sheet, and I'll increase its size with ever larger drill bits until it's just big enough to allow the screw to pass through the hole. I also sort of use the side of the drill bit as a ream to try to get it a little bit bigger so that the screw fits through fairly tightly, but it does go through. I've now screwed it down tightly to the tool, and I'm going to bend it over and mark, make sure that's straight, and mark where I need to cut it off. Now I'll assemble the tool. And that's the finished tool. Yeah, I put a foam block over the blade to protect it, put it in a tube for storage, and I can pull it out and use it whenever I need to. And when I'm working on the lathe for safety, I use protection so I won't hurt myself on the blade.